Do you have to pay the taxes for a property in redemption? Hi, my name is Julia M. Spencer. I'm a real estate advisor, investor, and your #1 source for real estate advice online. I wanted to make this brief video here while I'm in the car waiting. I actually have mentioned this in my last radio show, but I wanted to make an actual video about this. A subscriber of mine asked a really good question about whether or not they are responsible to pay the taxes for a property they purchased at a tax sale foreclosure that is in the redemption period still. So the subscriber is actually located in Atlanta, so in the state of Georgia. So the rules and the laws are sort of kind of similar all over the state. There are, of course, regional differences in the counties. So the county that she's in, obviously up there, I don't even know which one it is, Fulton, I believe. And we're down here in Chatham County in Savannah. But I wanted to talk a little bit about what and if you're responsible for the taxes at all. So what basically happened, let me just give you the scenario. The property starting bid was $2,000. The person that purchased the tax lien paid $4,000 over the starting bid and won the auction. So now the sales price, or the purchase price, actually is $6,000. And we are now, I think she purchased it in January, I believe. And at the time, the billing, I believe in Fulton County it works the same as in Chatham County, where we're billed twice a year, each time for half the taxes for the year. So I believe in January the taxes for that next June period haven't come out yet. So they were not added to the bill, obviously, because the taxes weren't billed yet. But now she's had this property since January. It is now August, for approximately 8 months or so. Of course, now there's a tax bill due, and the tax bill is usually sent to the property owner on record. In the state of Georgia, you sort of kind of get the sheriff's deed, so you are the property owner on record, actually, and you are as such going to be the person that's going to receive the bill for future taxes from the moment that you purchase the property. So this is what the subscriber asked me, is should they have to pay for this tax bill? So my answer to that is actually a little bit longer. So the first thing that I said to her is basically, well, you know, the first thing that you need to do is there is a significant overage that was created during the sale. So in order to satisfy the taxes, she only paid $2,000. Well, the starting bid was $2,000, but she paid $4,000 over the starting bid, so there's an overage of $4,000. The first thing to do would be to ask the taxing authorities to call them and basically ask what happened to the overage. Is the overage held in some sort of county fund for future collection by the previous owner? Or is it actually going to be applied to future taxes, or in this case, current taxes? And that's just something that I cannot tell you via this video. Something you have to find out on your own. You have to actually call the county and ask them how they're doing it in that particular county. And every county is going to do it a little bit differently. And we're speaking here in the state of Georgia, where you actually get a sheriff's deed. It's kind of like a hybrid state, where you get a tax lien, however you get a sheriff's deed. So you are the owner of records during the redemption period and are technically also responsible to pay the taxes. So you basically, the first step is to find out if the overage is applied to any outstanding tax bills. If it's not, find out why not and whether it can be applied to any current taxes and future taxes. That would be the first thing to do for the subscriber. The second thing that I would do, if it is not applied to any kind of current or future taxes, basically find out why not and inquire maybe that they can change the rules and apply it. Now, just mind you that when there's an overage created at a tax sale foreclosure, a lot of times the original owner of the property actually has a right to claim that overage. So it is very possible that they may have collected that $4,000 overage, which is actually due to them simply by asking for it or filling out a piece of paper. You also have a very large number of overage investors who kind of aim to find these properties with overages and collect that money for the original owner as a third party, and of course collecting a fee for themselves as well. So even though there may have been an overage created at the time that this person that asked me this question has purchased the property, that doesn't mean that there's an overage at the time that the next tax bill comes out. So again, it's something to ask by calling. You have to really just call around and find out. And the first person to call is basically the taxing authority that auctioned the property to you as the investor, as a tax sale foreclosure investor. The next thing that I wanted to say is that let's just say that the overage was collected by the original owner or by an overage investor. There's no more overage. Do you now have to pay the taxes or not is really the question. And here in the state of Georgia, the way it is here in Chatham County is probably the same in most of the other state counties in the state as well, is that you are responsible to pay the taxes. So yes, you are responsible to pay them. However, my philosophy on this is to not pay them right away. I kind of usually wait till the very end of the redemption period. Let's say we are almost 12 months into the redemption period here, and it kind of looks like the original owner is not going to pay me back for the money that I paid for the property and not going to redeem the property. And in that point, at that very late stage, it's advisable to just go ahead and pay the taxes. The other thing that I wanted to say with that is that at that point, it is kind of very likely that you're going to end up with the property anyways. So when you do obtain the property and then make your next move in terms of selling it or rehabbing it, whatever it is that you want to do, rent it, you're going to have to catch up the taxes anyways. So at that point, it's kind of unavoidable. You just go and pay it, but it's no big deal because you actually got a property. So it's probably a very small percentage of what the property is worth anyways. So yeah, you kind of have to calculate that into your investment budget, I guess. But I wouldn't worry about paying it right away. In most cases, the taxing authority is going to charge you a 1% penalty per month, which if you wait all the way to the end, it's 12%, which is kind of a lot. But then again, just kind of track in your head how much taxes is actually owed, how many taxes are owed. And what I mean with that is most likely all the taxes have been caught up until the point when you purchase the property. So you really only have to pay 1% of a very small amount from that point onward. However, also check to see if there's any city taxes, which might be a different taxing authority outstanding. And if those ones are standing for several years in a row back, then that might be quite a significant amount. And they, of course, also charge you a 1% penalty per month. So in order to avoid that, you may have to catch up those taxes just a little bit. So you are not responsible on 1% on the whole amount for the remainder of the redemption period, however long that lasts. And last but not least, what I was going to say is once an original owner does approach you during the redemption period and says they want to redeem the property, at that point it is very strongly advisable, this is what I'm advising you to do, is to go ahead and quote them the redemption price, including the taxes that are currently owed. And for that, basically, if somebody asks me, hey, I want to redeem this property you purchased at the auction, what do I owe? So you give them the amount that you actually paid at the auction, and then you also add whatever taxes that you paid for city or county up until that point, and anything else that's already been billed by the county or the city. You add all of that together, any of your expenses, and then you add the 20% on top of that. So make sure you always pay the outstanding taxes that are owed at the time that the original owner wants to redeem. A lot of original owners actually balk at this because they just want to pay whatever you paid at the auction and not a penny more. But it is your right to go and pay the taxes that are owed on the property and add that amount to the final amount. And the reason I advise you to do that is actually because your name is in the state of Georgia is actually stated as the name of the owner of that property until the end of the year, even if you quit claim deed the property back to the original owner when they redeem. So even if there's like another tax bill due in November, let's say we are in the summer and somebody redeems like in August right now a tax sale foreclosure, but November's tax bill hasn't been billed yet or paid, you're still going to get that bill in November. So just be mindful to remind them that they need to catch up on their taxes, stay on top of it, even though they're not going to be the ones billed until the end of the year. This is kind of hard to comprehend. Actually, it took me a good 30 minutes to describe and explain this on my radio show. So I would definitely recommend that you check out my radio show too on this exact same topic, which I'm going to put on YouTube here very soon. But I hope you kind of got the gist of it. Even though you're, let's say the property is redeemed and you're not technically the owner anymore, you're still going to get one more tax bill all the way till the end of the year. You can just forward that bill to the original owner that redeemed the property, and then it's up to them to pay it or not. However, your name is still on that tax bill, which is kind of annoying. It doesn't really do anything to you legally or technically or anything. It's just, I'd like, when I give a property back to somebody during a redemption period, I just want to make sure that everything that has my name on it or my company's name is finished and done and completed, and I no longer have to deal with this property. Even if I get a future tax bill, I don't even have to worry about sending it on to whoever needs to pay it. So I hope this made sense. If you have any questions about the topic, make sure you post your question at the bottom of this YouTube video. Also read and see what other people have asked, and maybe you could have an answer for them or have a comment or anything like that. I appreciate all your comments, suggestions, everything that you write here at the bottom very much. So make sure you comment frequently, watch my videos, tell me where I can give you more information, what I can do better. This is YouTube's supposed to be interactive, so I don't want to just be talking at you. I want to also make sure that you have a chance to interact with me and with the other members of the community. And yeah, for anything else, just subscribe at the bottom of this video. There's my website, and yeah, happy investing. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.